Ladies and gentlemen, look, all around the star, we're not in panic, but we are in emergency mode because there is a message that needs to go out. And so therefore, as you saw last night, you had some of the greatest content creators on this side of heaven that jumps in. And as you can see, Lord have mercy tonight, we got more coming in. The bat signal is everywhere. It's incredible. And soon as the bat signal goes up, here we are with more content creators who now join in only for one reason: to send a message, to let the world know we sick of this mess. That's all I'm trying to tell you. That's really all I'm trying to tell you. We sick of this mess. And so today on the Big Time Show, and you might as well say, I don't know, the what we call it now? I mean, what's what we call it? I
We're gonna
forgot.
go with that jab, man. We got Joe in here. We got Big Time and
I mean,
we got Amp and Big Time. So we're gonna
yeah,
go with
I mean, we just whatever you want to call it, we here. You understand?
We here.
We're in the building, and we ain't here to play. We're here to go ahead and let everybody know where we stand, just in case you haven't heard. If you weren't with us last night with the DC Universe, we're back at it again because we want this message to be sent to everybody that will listen. So today I'm in good company. I got my I got my brother, my frat brother, Cowboy Joe in the building. Cowboy Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I ain't got nothing else to say. Y'all know. It's
Yep.
on.
It's
We in the
on.
building. And then I got my brother, the BTA podcast, the one and only, the philosopher himself. So y'all already know he finna tell it like it is today. I mean, we ain't got nothing to talk about. I mean, my brothers here, Amp Sports in the building. Let's start off with my codes. Amp, come on, talk to the people very quickly, then switch it over there to Cowboy real quick.
look, Cowboys Nation. We might be deflated, but we are
Nah,
not
man.
defeated. Okay, we are deflated, but we are not defeated. I slept on it. I'm still pretty ticked, but on today, I'm a little bit calmer. I'm a little bit more sober minded that I've had an opportunity to sleep on it, if you will. But nonetheless, I still don't like the tone of it, the smell of it. I don't like it at all. I don't like what it's doing for the player. I don't like what it's doing for the team. I don't like what it's doing for the fan base. I don't like what it's doing for the organization as a whole. But that's why y'all got to stick right here. That's why you need to subscribe to these three channels if you haven't already, because we
Yeah,
hitting you and we hitting you not only with the jab, but we hitting you with straight facts.
straight up facts. No question. What up, Cowboy? Nope.
Good morning, Noop. Morning, Amp. Good to be on with you guys. And look, we just gonna jump off the top rope. I'm excited to be on the big time show. And Amp and I, we've been connecting quite a while. Big fan of Amp, so just excited to be on with you guys. We got to talk about what's going on here. As a lot of you guys know, I'm right here on the front line in Dallas, and
Yeah,
we got to talk about this thing that happened yesterday.
The
It's
lion in the
just
room.
the lion in the room. The rabbits got the gun. This is
yeah.
what Jared's been asking for. So he's in the what they call the F around and find out stage. So that's what we're gonna talk about. Is he in that
Nah,
stage?
mm.
Mm.
Look, we ain't got no time to play with it. We may have other folks might pop in. I'm just gonna let y'all know that now. So let's just be prepared. I have to make the adjustments if somebody comes
Yeah.
in, and we'll make that move. But for now, me and Amp were on last night, Cowboy Joe,
Yeah.
and most of the people that are here kind of heard our perspective from last night about Jerry and Micah or whoever is. And if you want to throw Steven in there, that's fine too. Whoever you want, but we haven't heard yours. At least I haven't heard what you have to say about this whole scenario. So I'll let you go on and be the first one in the battles box. Go ahead and hit your home run.
So I kind of have a theory, and hopefully we can talk about. And I'm gonna talk about this branding. There's this theory that Jerry is doing this for clicks and just to drive up some revenue with people just looking at the Cowboys. I just think that that's kind of silly. I just think that they're just not really good at their job. And I
Mm,
think what's happening is the media and what we're hoping that content creators do. The real story is Jerry and Steven, what they've been doing the last 30 years. It's not Micah.
mm-hmm,
Micah is just kind of almost an innocent bystander. But this is Jerry and Steven doing their normal thing that they do. And the big story should be he actually had this man on the sideline at a practice. They were talking about one thing. He changed the subject to start talking about this contract, and now this thing has happened. But the story should be Jerry actually believed that he was negotiating with Micah and that Micah was going to just brush by his agent and get this deal signed. And that, to me, that's the bigger story.
Mm, wow.
Hey, real quick, because I got a couple of messages saying my sound was low. Chat, can y'all hear me good enough now?
I know I can.
I can hear you.
I turned you up too.
Okay,
I turned you up on my end, but you was already good.
because I checked and I looked at the settings. My sound actually, I didn't even have an input selected.
Oh, okay. Well, you should be good now then.
Okay.
Y'all talk to Amp real quick. Those of you that can, you guys go keep talking, Amp. Can you hear Amp as he talk? Go ahead, Amp.
Testing 1 2 3. Y'all let me know in the chat.
There it is. I see one. William say he good.
Cool.
Go ahead and take it, Amp.
Man, I hate this on so many levels and so many reasons. I'm anxious. I'm anxious today. I woke up anxious. I can't wait for practice.
Yeah.
I want to see what's going to go down. I want to see if he's going to be present, and if he is present, to what extent is he going to make himself available? Is he going to still kind of be in the huddle and hanging around? Is he going to be off and standoffish, or is he just going to be absent completely? I'm curious and interested to see his approach moving forward, since he has jumped out there and made himself known, if you will,
Well,
as far as his stance.
let me go ahead and get it up because, ladies and gentlemen, whether you know it or not, we've learned over the years that the Cowboys do have someone, whoever that someone is, that watches content creators. I'm not saying they're watching mine. I'm not, I know, but they listen. Someone is listening. So, for the sake of that fact now, just in case they sneak their eyes over here, I need everybody in the chat line to join in, because if they're looking, they looking at y'all too as you chat. Because as you see your chat, that's a part of the show. Okay. So this is my question. I'm gonna go ahead and ask, because Amp, even though we going off the top of our head right now, y'all.
Yeah.
But when you're good at this kind of stuff, then you can do that. So this is my question to the chat and to Cowboy Joe and the Amp. You just heard Amp say something very powerful. With the stance that Micah Parsons just took, I said last night he need to go all the way with it. Don't play around with this thing.
Yeah.
So I don't care what there's no right or wrong to this. I would just like to know what the chat thinks, and then I want to hear from the panel. Do Micah Parsons even need to be there since he stepped out on there? Y'all go ahead, Cowboy Joe. Let me know what you think about it, and then I'll come back with it. I say don't even show up. So since he stepped out in the street like that, you know what I'm saying? What he said, and everybody by now knows what he said. I guess I should have had that ready, but I think everybody knows what he said. But Cowboy Joe, what you think about it?
So I said a few weeks ago, I predicted that he was going to come to camp. I also predicted that he wasn't going to participate in the drills. So he's very smart. He's very intelligent. I want to share with you guys, back in June, I was at a kids camp for special needs kids. So my cousin is Colin Simmons. He plays for Texas. He was a freshman of the year. So Micah was at the camp. Okay. Saw Micah up close and personal, talked to him. His agent, David Mulugeta, he was at the camp. My son talked to David. So David is from Dallas. Last night, on another content creator channel, I learned that David Mulugeta is the first agent to do $1 billion worth of contracts. Okay, that's a fact. He's the first one to do it. So he's highly respected. He's someone that's dug it out of the dirt. So I believe that Jerry and Steven, they are not prepared. They were not prepared for what David Mulugeta and Micah's going to do. When Micah showed up at camp, I think that kind of caught him by surprise a little bit. So, but yeah, he's he's put them in a very tough position that they've never been in before. So that's going to get us to where we are. It's all in a negotiation. They've been trying to disrespect his agent. It's not going to work. His agent is a gangster. He's a
Mm-hmm.
killer.
To
Mm-hmm.
So
Kelvin Hicks's point, after I did a little bit more research, for players to in essence hold in versus hold out, he negates the ability of them to be able to find him.
yep,
So, in the words of Marshawn Lynch,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Okay.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's his move. That's why. And I said, now it makes sense.
yep.
Okay.
The rabbit got the
All right.
gun.
All right. So I'm gonna come just for the sake. Well, y'all almost talked me into it, but if he shows up, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, and those in the chat correct me if I'm wrong. If he shows up, doesn't that kind of dilute his message from yesterday? I'm just saying. I mean, if you that upset,
Yeah,
I'm saying if you're that upset,
yeah,
the response should be don't be there
yeah,
because you're still trying to show how serious you are. So the only way if you show up and you're in, I mean, in any fashion, if you're just in t-shirt and shorts and you there, not only does that kind of dilute your message, but it kind of also puts a gigantic cloud on practice. And I'm coming from the standpoint of because he would be the focus. It ain't about football no more. It's about Micah got his lip poked out on the sideline. Micah ain't doing nothing. Everybody got to answer questions about it. How you feel about it. It put the players in position where they have to go against Jerry or side with Micah because he's there. I mean, this opens up a whole can of words. So, but if to eliminate that, and to make your message really concrete, if you let me say that, you don't show up now. JVB boy brought out a nice point that we can't run nobody money, and as you can see from what he's saying is you'll lose $50,000 a day.
Yeah, he will get fined.
So you do the math. You know what I'm saying? Is your stance worth losing God knows how much money? And if you know you're gonna get signed, that right there ain't no but chump change. Now I ain't got 50 grand, so I can't talk about no mother man money. I'm just saying when you put out a message like he did yesterday, you put yourself in a position like it's all in. You know what I'm saying? That's that term again. It ain't half. It's either you gonna take the Dak Prescott approach and practice and play and all that type of stuff without your extension and get it on the first day of the season like Dak did, or you gonna do the threats like Zeke did. Say, hey, I'm gonna stay here in Cabo. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
I'll be like the Mark Lawrence. I'm gonna have surgery. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do it. It just depends on you can't halfway this thing. Let me echo this and then I'm gonna switch it over to Amp again. Uh, the problem, y'all, with what happened yesterday, and I told Amp this morning. The problem why Micah is hurt is partially his fault. I ain't gonna say part. It's a lot his fault, and I'll say this is the reason why. I'm not saying he don't deserve his money. We all know he deserves his money. We know he should have got paid a while back, etc., etc. The problem is that he took this friend for friend approach
mm-hmm,
with Jerry,
mm-hmm.
and it's not even on Dak's level. It's not corporate. We seen camera shots with Jerry and Michael side by side, shooting the breeze, and Jared getting on and say, "Hey, deal's already in place." I've talked to Micah on a personal level, and Micah has operated that way, and now he's finding out what every other star we done had has found out mostly, and that is it's a problem when the real great players' time is for them to get paid. Every player. Y'all, we remember, let me talk to you young Cowboy fans, just in case you forgot. Emmitt Smith sat out 2 games right after a Super Bowl. I mean, come on now. Because Jerry was trying to get him at his price. So he's willing to let things happen. If you let Emmitt Smith sit out, I mean, come on now. This the same guy.
Yeah.
Let's not forget who this guy is. So he's made the mistake of being too friendly. Go ahead, Em.
See, I think it's it's a two-edged sword, honestly and truthfully.
Come on.
It's a darn if you do, darn if you don't. You show up, they're gonna, you in essence, you kind of give up some of your leverage. You don't show up, you're selfish, you're only thinking about yourself, you're not a leader, you're not a team man, So you're going to get criticisms either way.
Yeah.
Micah really at this point just needs to follow his mind and his heart.
Mm-hmm.
Truthfully. And he's got to do what's best for him and his family. That's not an easy decision. Y'all got to understand, this man, his brother, his father, you're from PA, okay?
Yeah.
We know what territory that is.
Blue collar.
Mm-hmm.
Blue collar, chippy, right? But also we know what country that is as well.
Go ahead, I'm there.
Now, we know what country, back on the ranch, we know what that's like too. Country club, etc. But those people from that state, they work by the sweat of their brow. They work by the sweat of their brow.
Pause up. I hate to do it, but we all just. We need to pause.
Yeah.
We need to pause, because if there was Mount Rushmore type dude, ladies and gentlemen, he just entered the building. I don't even have to tell you who he is. He needs no introduction. If he needs introduction, you obviously do not. You're not a participant in Cowboy content. I mean, it's just that simple. But for those, I guess I'd be nice. For those that do need introduction, the one and the only, the great Jay Tuck has entered the building. And what a privilege it is to have him just even pop in, even if it's just for 2 minutes. We'll take his 2 minutes. This dude here, I must say, he showed his butt yesterday.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing.
This man was on, I mean, totally from everywhere for at least about 9 hours, if I'm not mistaken. I'm surprised he ain't in the bed sleep. He must got something else to say. Look, I don't know what this means. If you know Jay Tuck, we all know, let's not play around. We know Jay Tuck he's on the inside. We don't know if he has inside scoop. We don't know what he is for. He just might want to let some more steam off his chest. Doc, look, I yield. This is not the big time show no more. This is Jay Tuck show, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Tuck, go to work, Doc.
Nah, man, this is y'all show, man. I just wanted to pop in and because I love what the space is doing right now, man. I'm loving quality content creators step up, like I said last night, when Cowboys Nation needs it the most. And I'm refreshed, man. I went to sleep. I finally showered. I tried to get to bed last night. My wife was like, "Nah, you gotta go shower and get right," So funny story. After I got off the show with Amp and Boss and everybody and you, big time.
Yeah.
I was about to get into bed after I showered. I laid down for like 2 minutes. I jumped right back up and got back on the phone.
Wow.
So it's just one of those things, man. But I'm truly grateful for you guys, man. Grateful for Cowboys Nation, and like I've been saying, this is when they need us the most. And hopefully we can kind of move in the right direction. I'm not sure what today holds. I know Micah Parsons is still out there in Oxnard, so will he not be out there on the practice field? From what I've been hearing, y'all, taking football away from Micah Parsons is like taking breath away from him right now. So it's like he hates being in the situation. I think this is why yesterday was so emotional for a lot of us, because he wants to be out there. Like, he really wants to be out there. He wants to be around his team. He doesn't want to go back home to Texas. And while everyone's out here in Oxnard, he wants to be around. But now he's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Like, business side versus what you're truly passionate about. So, it's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see how Brian Schottenheimer handles this.
Yeah.
Also, how his teammates handle this. So it's going to be an interesting day, man. But like I said, y'all, salute to everyone on the show right now. Salute to everyone watching these shows right now, because we needed the truth. And like I said last night, I remember when I was just a Cowboys fan, just looking for someone to speak my truth and amplify my voice, and I felt like I had nobody. Like, a lot of people don't remember. Patrick,
amplify?
Yeah, amplify. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go. But a lot of people don't remember, like, Patrick Noty Walker. You see all the incredible things that he's doing now, but back then he was just a blogger. Like, no one.
Yeah,
nobody.
Yep.
He was someone that I kind of looked up to. Like, all right, bro. Like, he's unconventional, but he's speaking the truth. His facts are con. But like the mainstream people who cover the Dallas Cowboys, I felt like I was getting lied to. So it was good yesterday to be able to turn not on my channel, but multiple channels across Cowboys Nation. Not all of them was doing good, but I ain't going to address them.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people saying, hey, what we're seeing right now is wrong and we're tired of it. And we let Cowboys fans, voice their opinions, their concerns, and their frustrations. And that's what it's all about.
Let me ask you this, Jay Tuck, and I ask you the same question I was just asking the chat and the panel here. And I'm not saying, we ain't speaking about nobody money, because obviously he puts himself in a position that, as I was saying, that if he doesn't show up, he gets fined and all that type of stuff. But my question is that if when you step out in the street like he did yesterday with his message that everybody's read at least, and he does show up today, I ain't talking about the money. I'm just talking about, and this is just speculation, and you've had conversations with him. So doesn't that kind of dilute the message that he sent out yesterday? See, I'm and correct me if I'm wrong. I yield to you on this, but I'm about being all in or all out. And I think that if you're gonna step out like this, you need to really go and make them feel it and let them really understand what you're playing with. It's kind of like saying, like, it's kind of like people doing relationships when, for instance, we all men here, we know women say things sometimes that they really don't mean, and we say, oh, she just talking. You know what I'm saying? If he shows up, isn't that the kind of vibe that you get? Am I wrong for thinking like that?
1,000%. I think that's going to be the number one thing we're all going to be watching, because the optics of it will look off, right? You said, hey, you no longer want to be a Dallas Cowboys. You don't want to be here, but then you're still out there at practice. So, like I said, like, hearing conversations, he's still out there in Oxnard. We know about the fines. And I think we had the conversation last night. I didn't look too deep into it. Could it be reimbursed and give him back? But yeah, if he's out there just in Crocs again, holding bags and calling plays, but then Stephen Jones going to be like, bro, you're not really about that life. You know what I'm saying? You're not really about it. So it's going to be interesting. The optics are going to be off. And, I know a lot of people will say, like, yo, Tuck, like, you caused this or whatever. I'm not going to dive too deep in that. But I can tell you guys, I'm looking at the message right now at 11:23 p.m. Thursday night. I said, bro, you don't have to say much. I won't say nothing. But is this fixable, or are we past the point of return, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to say what he responded back to me. From that feeling, when I knew when I went to bed Thursday night, that we was past the point of return. So if he's still at practice, it's salvageable. That would be like me telling my wife I want a divorce. Hey, let's go get something to eat real quick. Like, what's really going on? So if I had to gauge it, I don't think he will be there. So maybe he's not at practice, but maybe he's going to hang around and still be at the hotel around the team. I don't know the plan. I feel like this is the next steps and course of action. We'll have to all sit back and see how it unfolds today at practice.
Talk to me, Cowboy Joe. What you thinking? What we're talking about here?
So nice to meet you, Jay Tuck. Been a long time fan, and appreciate everything you're doing for the space. I got a question about this branding thing for Jay Tuck. We keep hearing that all publicity is good publicity. And what I wanted to ask Jay Tuck is, when the Cowboys have this type of negative attention, there's this thought that that's just making money for Jerry, kind of behind the scenes a different way. I'm not really sure that I agree with that. I just think that I was looking at something this morning, and the Yankee brand is pretty close to the Cowboy brand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I can't imagine that if Aaron Judge was in a contract negotiation, he said, you know what, I don't want to be a New York Yankee anymore.
Mhm.
That can't be good for the Yankee brand. So, is there a benefit for Jerry doing things this way? Does it really benefit the brand?
Man, that is an amazing question because actually
It is.
it was going to be one of the focal points of my show today because I feel like us as Cowboys fans, that's our safety blanket. Oh, it's just publicity. Oh, it's just marketing. It's just what Jerry likes to do. Well, where's the money coming from? If First Take goes on and bombs on Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, that revenue doesn't go to Jerry, right? He gets paid off the TV revenue, jersey sales, ticket sales, concessions, like ratings. Like that's where for the games, not for these outside shows. So the publicity thing, he doesn't get any benefit of it. I feel like that may have been an old mantra for Jerry Jones back in the day that may have worked, right? But as of right now, I don't think Cowboys fans are at line at the pro shop buying jerseys today. So all
No.
publicity isn't good publicity. And I feel like a lot of Cowboys fans just lean on that because that's how we try to make sense and rationalize what is going on. But yeah, you're spot on. Because there was a situation with Jeffrey Lurie, the Eagles owner, right? People don't understand. Jeffrey Lurie took money out of his own pocket and sold some of his stake last year in the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's what under the grid. He did like in December, right? To have more money and flexibility for free agency and different things like that. And when you read the reports, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, their value tripled. So he got his return on the investment plus double, right? So winning is the ultimate benefit, right? Winning, if you really want revenue, I guarantee you guys right now, if the Dallas Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl, those ticket prices will cost more than probably a lot of our homes, right? But Cowboys fans will be there. When we got George Pickens and that excitement, that generates revenue. That's what brings people when people start buying season tickets and buy, like that's what creates the revenue. You poo-pooing on players and being disgruntled and having back and forth, it actually separates a little bit because real rational Cowboys fans are starting to maybe even push back from the organization and what's really going on.
Wow. Great question and great answer by both of you. Let me kind of, I guess, because see, I feel like cussing, even though I'm a pastor and stuff, but I ain't gonna do it today. I'm gonna be nice. Ain't no sense in me lying.
Yeah.
I won't pause my folks from my church looking at me like, oh my God.
I got to hold off, and my little niece, Luther Brooks, she be watching my show. Because normally I didn't cuss because my kids were younger, but now they're older, so I'm like, all right, I can let it rip.
Yeah. Let me.
And said, Uncle Tuck, why was you cussing so much yesterday? I said, my bad.
Yeah. Let me shift it now. I mean, we could go with Micah all day, but since we know practice is going on, and we know that there is a press conference usually every day, at least with the head coach. I think it's very interesting that's one of the down spots, I guess, that I think that's coming from this. Is I said it last night that one thing that mostly everybody noticed so far this offseason up to this point yesterday was I guess you could say the job so far that Coach Schottenheimer has done as far as shifting the focus really on football.
Yep.
That's pretty much what we've heard. And his philosophy, I mean, we had kind of changed the mindset, the culture, if you want to say. And of course, Jerry and Steve, whoever else, has brought back the culture of chaos, as far as I'm concerned. Brought it back. Brian Schottenheimer, y'all, is getting a crash course real early. and this is what me and him talked about earlier this morning. That unfortunately for him, today, when that press conference happens today, The questions, you might get a little football
Yeah.
questions in there, but now he has to get into the middle because he is a player's coach. It ain't no question about that. But he also can't just go against the front office. The man ain't even got to the kickoff yet for first week. And so his words today are going to kind of, I don't know what I'm looking for here, y'all. It's going to kind of project, I guess that's, a new wave or a new angle of his head coaching, persona, because he ain't gonna kill Micah, and at the same time he not gonna kill Jerry and Steven. But Jerry has put him in this position now, and I'm quite sure this is something that he wanted to avoid. What you think about that, Jay Tuck?
Yeah, I think this is his big welcome to Dallas moment right now. Because right, Tom, like we had like I remember doing a show on Wednesday night, and I was sitting there talking about the offense and the speed, and Devontae Turpin and Jadon Blue. So he was getting there for it to be more football centric. But then now it's your big uphill battle, and you got to move correctly, because if you sway one way too hard, it can either tip the iceberg when it comes to the players or also the front office. And I feel like this is the hardest part about this, because we saw Shotty actually winning these battles, right? He won the Tyler Booker battle, like he was winning some of those battles and moving the right direction. So he has to tread lightly. But here's why I'm confident in Brian Schottenheimer to be able to handle this perfectly. Because what we got to remember, who was his idol, who kind of mirrors himself after? Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll had the Legion of Boom. So he saw was like having Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor and those guys kind of speak out, kind of unwillingly and voice their concerns about Russell. So he's kind of been in that locker room. So hopefully he can lean on previous and past experiences to be able to help him. But the problem is now you're dealing with a different type of organization when it comes to, oh, okay, you agree with Micah's tactics? Is that what it could get, so
yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I think that he'll probably teeter the line a little bit, but if I had to just gauge Shotty, I think his allegiance is going to lie towards the players more than the front office, but he's still going to tiptoe with caution.
Yeah. Talk to me, man. What you think about Shotty today?
The unfortunate part about, and please, again, because I got another comment saying I was a little low, but the unfortunate part about all of this is I am witnessing a coach, a man, pour into an organization, pour into a team. He is giving so much energy, so much.
Yeah.
He is single-handedly, like I said, he's improved the team. He's helped bring the fan base back around and kind of, we ain't all the way back, but nonetheless, we're here. Somewhat excited that football is back, and Jerry Jones literally took the pen and stabbed it in the balloon.
Yes, sir.
As I said when we opened, I said, we're deflated. We ain't defeated, but God, we are deflated. And I'm seeing them unravel this man's work, because what I'm curious about, as I said a little earlier, I want to know now how the team is going to respond.
Okay.
I want to know how the team is going to respond. I want to know if this is going to affect football. Mm-hmm. Are we going to have the same intensity in practice? Are we still going to be happy-go-lucky and doing the touchdown tandem celebrations like synchronized swimmers? Mm-hmm. Is that going to be the vibe at practice? Or are we just going to be going through the motions? Because if we just going to be going through the motions, then this possibly has a lasting effect. Mm-hmm. Okay? I hope and pray that's not the case, because that means the work that Shotty has done, over the last 4 or 5 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
since he got hired, you just killed it all, and then with killing it, I know if I'm Shotty, I'm gonna be like, man, I gave him this, I did that. We brought the ping pong tables in and the basketball hoops, and what else is he gonna have to do to try and reinsert energy back into this team? That's what I'm curious to see. How this plays effect to the team. Guess what? When Dak Prescott was holding in, I didn't see this much support.
No,
Truth be told,
no.
Dak is the leader. He's the face of the franchise, or the team aspect of it, rather. But based off of what I saw yesterday,
It's different.
Yeah, totally.
it's number 11.
Yeah, yeah. Talk to me, Cowboy Joe. What you think about that, man? What you think about Shotty today? And I guess you can throw it the way Amp just did. You throw in the team with that as well.
You know, I feel pretty good about Shotty. I think he's got his sea legs. You know, he's a NFL lifer. His dad was a legendary coach, so he's seen everything. He know how agents work. He knows how owners work. You know, his dad worked for Art Modell. That wasn't an easy owner to work for. You know,
Wow.
his dad coached in Kansas City, where Jay Tuck is. So he has all of that experience to bring to the forefront. So I think he's going to be okay. I think he is going to be, with the team. You know, he's put the work in. So I think he's built for this. I actually think in myself that he's better prepared for it than Jason Garrett was when he took over. Probably better than Mike McCarthy is. So no, I feel good about Shotty and where he is, and I think he's gonna be like the calming force in the next few weeks as we work through this negotiation and whatever it's going to end up to be.
Yeah, I see a comment here from Takai Boys that says she think today will be mentally challenging, but they will try. I think everybody gonna try to put on a good front, but make no mistake about it, we've been damaged.
Do we know what time they're practicing today?
Should be soon.
I think about another hour and a half. I think
it's 1:30 if you're something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna find out real quick. I'm quite sure more press is there today than any other day. We're gonna find out very quickly. We got content creators that are still there, and so we'll know, rather quickly what's going on, who's there, who's not there. You'll be able to feel that energy, kind of like what Amp was saying. That vibe was in the building. There's no question. We'll see how things happen since last evening. Let me throw this in and just change it up because we ain't gonna be on too much longer. Do me a favor, y'all. Go ahead and share. I didn't do that before. Share this. Also hit that like button if you can. All these guys that you see here, and you'll hear their content where you can find them in a moment. But by now, you should be following just about everybody on here, and you'll see. But let me go this route because I brought this up with Amp as well. And Tuck, I don't know if you thought this far, and I know you know some of the players on there, and I don't know if you kind of went that direction yet. But when you see this, it's a couple players that I'm looking at that have a front row seat to this mess. And I'm thinking somebody like Pickens, whose contract will end this year. And he might be saying, "I'm gone." The idea of him, getting a gigantic deal from us, I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. But even if it was, Micah Parsons represents. See, you can say whatever you want to say about his podcast. You can say whatever you want to say about his attitude or whatever. But one thing you have to add with that is his production. There is no one better at his position. I ain't talking sacks, y'all. I'm talking about add everything together. He is the guy. There's no question about that. And it seemed like to me, from history, that the guys that have produced get this type of treatment. So why would Bland sit there when he know his time is coming and getting slandered in the media and all that type of stuff? With Tyler Smith, why would guys like this, who we all know are in that position, at least Tyler Smith, that they would be, probably one of the top, highest paid players in their position when their time comes. Bland may be the same way. It can't feel good to see, because it ain't nobody escaped, this type of treatment as far as I can remember. Like somebody like Pickens may say, "Okay, let me just go and put these numbers up, and let me get on out of here." It's 31 other teams. Trust me, if I put these numbers up, somebody gonna do it. In other words, even free agents, we always like to talk about why we can't free agents. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody don't want to come here. I may be wrong, but I'm saying like nobody want to come here if they know this is the way that it's going to be. And so far, the track record shows this is the way that it is. So I'm saying, help me out. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I ain't too big to be corrected, but this don't look good for people who got front row seats. And they know they're talking about Dallas, Texas, even though you ain't got to pay no taxes here on your money because you're in Texas. But nobody don't want to come here for this mess, man.
And you're 1000% right. And I think a lot of people are missing the message, right? I mean, kind of trying to explain this on Twitter. It's not just about the money. I do think that Micah Parsons, y'all, will not get traded. Hopefully.
No.
And I think that he will get the deal done. But what Micah Parsons is doing is he's setting the tone for people behind him. Because a lot of people are afraid to speak out because they're afraid of the backlash of what Jerry and Steven could do to them, right? So Zeke just went to Cabo, CeeDee Lamb just went to Florida, Dak just showed up and kind of shut up. Like, so, but Micah is saying, hey, bro, like, we've earned this. And so if I'm someone like DeMarvin Overshown, who tore one of my ACLs, I'm fighting back to get back on the field and recovering the other ACL. If I go out there and I produce after all the hard work that I put in, I could be next, right?
Yeah.
If I'm Sam Wood, go back off that ACL injury, and I come out there and have 12 sacks, 13 sacks, I'm probably playing for another team. We all saw what Gordon Lewis just went through. So for me, it's the mindset and the mentality that the ownership has set for these players currently on the roster. Like, hey, bro, I was saying this last year with Dak Prescott. If they will do Dak Prescott like this, everybody can get it, right? Like Dak ain't say nothing. He's a quarterback. He's the Walter man. They make him fight for their money. It's like someone owing you money. We've all been there, and you know they got their bread, but they just want you to call them 30 times. But eventually what happens, y'all, we've all been there. Now we got to get ugly. Hey, bro, send me my money, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm done playing with you, right? That's where the Cowboys, oh, my bad. I got your money, bro. I had it all. Like, bro, why do I have to get ugly to get my money? I should have just go out on the field, produce. Micah hasn't been in any off the field trouble. Terrence Steele hasn't been in any off. Like, why does it have to get ugly to get what I've earned? So, and like you were saying, this is also the biggest concern. If I'm a free agent, the allure of the Dallas Cowboys, even though we're Cowboys fans and we get wrapped up in it, it doesn't exist anymore in today's NFL. If I'm a free agent, I'm either going somewhere for cheap to win a championship, or if I'm going somewhere where I can't win a championship, I'm going to get top dollar. There's no in between. And honestly, pretty much can't get either in Dallas because these players are smart enough to sit back and say, damn, I said I saw Tyler Biadasz. I said Dante Fowler. I saw Dorrance Armstrong. They just went to Washington and they went to heights we ain't never seen before since I've been living. So maybe the Dallas Cowboys isn't the end all be all. The marketing does no longer take effect because now you can market yourself from Jacksonville. I'll guarantee you that Travis Hunter is going to have commercials now with social media engagement, everything. So you do not have to be in Dallas anymore to get sponsorship. So everything that Jerry and the ownership tries to sell is no longer. So they're going to have to update their resume to say, okay, we are building for championships, or we want to pay you and make you at least pay you what you're worth. If not, I'll catch y'all in Baltimore.
Wow. Talk to me about that. What you think about possible, some of our players that are up, for extensions, and of course free agents that are looking. They got a front row seat for this mess going on. What you think about that? Nobody don't want to come here. That's just my opinion.
The problem is it's setting an ugly precedent.
Yeah.
It's setting a very ugly precedent because it's like you're going to do this. You're going to treat this guy this way.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't know if I want to be a part of that. That's what starts to happen. So this is honestly no different. What y'all saw Tuck do yesterday is what Micah is doing. It's about the word sacrifice.
Yeah.
He is sacrificing himself currently for the betterment of other individuals to come behind him. He is literally paving the road. He's stripping it and paving it all at the same time. Like, he deserves some credit. He actually deserves a lot of credit
Yeah.
because he could have just easily said, you know what, whatever they offer me, the first thing I'll sign. He could have just done that, and it really could have been over with like early, a long time ago. But he's
Yeah.
trying to do it in a way that benefits the players, not the management. He loves the management, but what Micah is going through is that letter that we saw yesterday. That's the
Mm-hmm.
equivalent of Micah Parsons waking up and realizing there's no Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jerry ain't who you think he is. He is not the big jolly man with the red suit on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Low key, sometimes he can actually be the little green man with the little dog, better
Yeah.
known as the Grinch.
Yeah.
It's no
Yeah.
Santa Claus, bro.
Yeah.
The
Awesome.
Tooth Fairy is not about to leave you no bread, bro.
Mm.
He really what you saw in the hurt that Tuck referenced yesterday was his NFL players' innocence being snatched away.
Yep.
He had a real heavy dose of reality. Like, you know what? It ain't the way they make it seem.
Mm-hmm.
And
Awesome.
it's a sacrifice, but I applaud him for it nonetheless.
Awesome. Cowboy Joe, talk to me. What you think these guys that's coming up for extension and maybe even a future free agents thinking as they look at a front row seat and see how our guys are being done again?
It doesn't look good. Jerry is damaging the brand. Something that we haven't talked about. Micah has his entire family out there in Oxnard. His mom is there. His dad is there. His kids are there.
Wow.
They were Cowboy fans. We talked about that from Pennsylvania earlier. So I just have to say to myself, what is Micah's dad and what is his mom thinking this morning? How are the kids looking at this? And so a lot of these players, they have families. They have dads, they have fathers, they have grandparents, and so it's a family thing when you're looking at signing with a team. So this cannot be good if you're looking at some people coming in down the line. Deron Bland, Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith. He's a local guy. He's from Fort Worth, here where I am, and so his mom is heavily involved in what he does. So no, this is not good for the brand. It's not good for future free agents, and Jerry is, like I said, he has to realize that he's putting it. It's a different game now. Micah is a different guy. He's a different type of player,
There you go.
and so Jerry he's finna find out, what's about to go down here.
Yeah.
Can
And
I
go
say
ahead, Tuck.
this is what Am said? Yeah. So, Am said something that was extremely important, right, about Micah looking out for the people behind him, right? And I do relate with Micah Parsons. So I said this on my channel, but I haven't said this publicly on other channels, right? A lot of people ask me, yo, Tuck, why aren't you at training camp right now? I could be at training camp today if I wanted to, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I am not at training camp because I'm making a stand for my content creator brothers and sisters, right?
Uh-huh.
I was out there where Law Nation's mother was passing away, and he was still out there grinding to get Cowboys Nation, coverage, right? But then I sit back and see that Law Nation can't get access. They have him filming from the bleachers.
Wow.
Right? And it's like, okay. But then I look and see my friends who cover the Jets. They have content creator day where they roll out the red carpet. They get access to the players. They get all sorts of this. My dog Rio in Washington, content creators are out there, so it's like, you know what? Nah, bro, they're not going to disrespect us like we don't add value to this community. So if we have to watch for the bleachers, I'm not going out there at all, and I'm making a stand. Now, could I be out there posting clips and get access? Absolutely not. But you're not going to treat us, me, someone who's covered. I've been approved to cover 3 Super Bowls now, 2 drafts, combine. But when it comes to the Cowboys, I have to cover the team from the bleachers. Absolutely not. So I'm taking a stand for Amp. I'm taking a stand for Cowboy Joe and Big Time and Lou and everyone coming up and say, no, we can go out there and conduct ourselves like business professionals. We can ask proper questions. We're not just fans of the team. We are trusted, credentialed media, and you need to get with the times. And that's pretty much what Micah Parsons is doing, just at a bigger scale, speaking for the Tyler Smiths, the Marvin Overshones, the Jadon Blues, and whoever the Dallas Cowboys bring in, because we know we'll be back here in 2 years, 3 years, if not next year with George Pickens.
So Big Time, can I say something right quick?
You got it, man.
I want to point out something. So you guys see right now, I got a cap on with the Cowboy, the Dallas Cowboy hat. I want to say this. So I'm a fourth generation Cowboy fan. So you can see the 88s on my background there. So when the Cowboys cut Dez, okay, I was so just like, for the first time, I remember the year they cut Dez. The Cowboys played on Thanksgiving. Okay, I didn't watch any of the games that year. I didn't like the way they did Dez. They cut him at the last minute. So I remember being in my mom's on Thanksgiving, and the TV was like in the den. The game was on. They were playing on Thanksgiving. That was the first time I ever have not watched a Thanksgiving game. I was in the kitchen, just sitting in the kitchen away from the TV. So I said all that to say this. From the time they cut Dez until a few weeks ago when I bought this hat, I have not bought any Cowboy apparel. Because that's just where I am. So
That's real.
I agree with what Tuck is saying. So I just wanted to just throw that out there, because that's what we're going to have to do. I have not bought any. I told my family, birthdays, Christmas, don't buy me any Cowboy gear. So this is the first time I have bought something since they cut Dez.
Wow.
See, people don't understand when you do what we do.
Yeah, man.
If you love steak, right? You love steak. I'm probably about to have steak for lunch right now. But if you work in a slaughterhouse, you look completely different.
Yeah.
Steak, right? And that's how it happens when you start covering the team. And hold on, wait, whoa, what they doing? What to Micah? Like, wait, they do treat the players bad every time. And that's a certain color of players they only treat bad. So you start to get this disgust when you start to look at this organization, and unfortunately, it removes some of your fandom. Like Cowboy Joe is, like, it's hard to get excited because there's so many filthy things that I know that goes on behind the scenes, not only with the media. Like, it's just like sometimes I wish I didn't even know it, So it's kind of hard. So I definitely understand.
Amp, I know you want some of that. Go ahead.
Man, look, I used to like McDonald's until I watched Super Size Me,
Yeah.
Like, it gets to a point to where it's like, God, I've seen too much. Parts of me kind of miss the old me from 7-8 years ago, prior to getting introduced to content creators and looking at this thing like Erykah Badu, the other side of the game, if you will. It's crazy, man, because I used to have just dreams about the squad, and now it's like, like, it's just, in certain aspects, it's disgusting because you're playing with people's livelihoods, man. You just heard he's got his family out there, and he probably has his family out there so they can be present at his press conference when he gets ready to sign. See, that makes sense. But now you got this man's family out here and you're embarrassing him. It's almost like some, I hate to say it, plantation mentality, man. Plantation treatment. Yeah, I said it. I'm sick of it. I told y'all last night, I too have had to deal with plantation mentality. And I said, enough is enough. You get to a point to where and I went back and looked at it this morning. You get sick and tired of being sick and tired. No, I'm not about to drop the mic. I'm going to stay on the but you just get sick. And it's like, man, they grew up in PA as Cowboys fans. That's difficult enough by itself.
Yeah.
And you are ruining an individual's dreams for the sake of what? A couple extra dollars so you can paint the picture how you want it, so you can do it strictly on your terms?
Yes.
The problem with the Dallas Cowboys, and I said this yesterday, Unfortunately, Jerry and Steven are still them boys,
Mm,
meaning they haven't grown up business wise. Y'all will catch that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
mm, mm.
Facts.
We almost been on an hour, and I don't want to hog up all of your time. Listen, before we let everybody have their final words, listen, thank you for whoever has come on and kind of hung out with us. Trust me, you're going to see stuff like this all the time. I mean, you don't tell them who Jay Tuck will have on his, but Jay Tuck by himself is worth the price of admission.
Absolutely.
He don't need really nobody, but he may have some people on with him. Whenever he pops on, you need to pop on Amp, and I will continue to do what we do. And Cowboy Joe and his son, the Father and Son podcast, newer channel. But these two guys here are doing incredible work. That these two guys here have had some of the heavy hitters on. West Coast Boss Cowboy, all of them is shared on their platform. And trust me, and I've been on this show, Amp been on the show. Listen, when we start talking about the angry Cowboy fan, I mean, the list goes on and on. Rome, who was electrifying yesterday. If you didn't see Cowboy fan talk yesterday, it was ridiculous. He was special yesterday. I mean, the list go on. We start calling names. Our Henny, of course, and Landlord. I mean, everybody right now is on another level. But if you check it out, if you check us all out, you'll notice one common thread. We're all saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that Jay Tuck here said last night that I heard, and it was almost kind of like a marching order. Not that I needed it because I knew what I was going to talk about, but it's just good to hear that I'm on the right page. He said this, that people, and then forgive me for paraphrasing, Jay Tucker, you can speak it better than I can, but it's better when everybody is saying the same thing. And when you look at how many people are in this space and how much influence we have, just look at your subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
And not that all of them are going to pop on and all that type of stuff, but if you get all of this saying the same thing, the hundreds turn into thousands.
Mm-hmm.
The thousands turn into tens of thousands. And before you know it, you may be in that 100,000. If you want these heavy boys, you may even reach the million. I mean, you just never know. But here's the main thing. It might hit the right ear. Don't have to be millions. It could just hit one. And you'll never know who that one is. And so what I want to do in my little final word real quick is and not saying it because he's here. I'm just saying it because I want to highlight the value that a person like Jay Tuck has in this community. It started out with, Mark Holmes and guys like that. Jay Tuck is there. You understand what I'm saying? And his voice is needed. Obviously, a lot of people get ideas from watching his show, and you may take it another slightly direction, but the foundation of your show is off something that he said, which amplifies the message. So it's just good to have this type of guy that will take out a little time before he does his show later, just to pop in on us, man. And I want to tell you personally, Jay Tuck, because I think we worked maybe one time together with West Coast. But you got an open door invitation anytime. I don't care what I'm doing. I'm just gonna put the link up, the back signal up. If you want to jump in, sir, I yield. I appreciate what you are to this community. I appreciate things that you've said, and it's good to have someone that is a leader that's there. And I appreciate you. And that's really all my final words. Listen, for those that do not know me, the Big Time Show, you can find me on X. You can find me here on YouTube and on Facebook. When you find me, please hit that notification bar, turn it on, so that when I come on live, it'll come to your phone, your computer, whatever. Do that for me, man. Amp, Cowboy Joe, love y'all brothers. Newt, Cowboy Joe, yo, yo, yo. That's all I got to say, man.
Yo, yo,
Go
yo.
ahead, man. I appreciate you. Go ahead, Amp. We'll let Tuck close that.
Cool. So I'll be tuned in. I want to know what's the pulse of the team.
Yeah.
I also want to know what's the pulse of the fans who are going to be present. Because there are some people who have traveled who didn't know this was going to happen. Unfortunately, that's the reality that they're going to be met with when they arrive today.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are some individuals who have flown out to Cali just for training camp and have probably decided that, hey, we ain't going to practice again. We're going to do something different. We're going to pivot. I'm pretty sure there are those individuals too.
Yeah.
We cannot stop y'all
Yeah.
because there's still work to be done. There is a huge chunk of this fan base. Y'all know who I'm talking about. You know them. You know some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't even on no content creators. I'm just talking fandom here.
Yeah.
And I've got coworkers who are Cowboys fans that I cannot have Cowboy conversations with. It's that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, guess what? I'm slowly starting to change. I'm slowly starting to entertain because once upon a time, I was in the dark too.
Yeah.
You heard reference to the red and blue pill last night. I was in the dark once upon a time. It wasn't until I started hearing content creators like West Coast and Balls and Tug and Big Time. It wasn't until I started hearing people like that that I changed my mindset and my viewpoint on how the Joneses operate.
Mm-hmm.
You could call it an enlightening, if you will, an
Yeah.
awakening. So we still got work to do. There's still lost cowboy souls out there, if you will.
Yep.
Can't stop, won't stop, as Diddy would say. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best. Y'all stay encouraged, Cowboy Nation, and y'all be blessed.
Amen. What's up, Newt?
All right, appreciate you, Noop. It's always good to be on with my new brother, Big Time Show. I've been a big fan of J Tuck and Amp. I'm a fourth generation Cowboy fan. My son is a third generation Cowboy fan. We do a podcast as Father and Son Cowboys and Sports Talk. You can follow
That's so
me
dope.
also at Cowboy Joe 64. So my son started a channel. I wanted to support him. What I do admire about J Tuck, Big Time, you doing the thing with your son later today. The way we support our sons, Amp, I know your story, so shout out to you. But this 30-year drought, I want to close with this, is real. We don't talk about it enough. It doesn't get enough light shined on it. Cowboy fans, we're tired of being tired, and we need to make a change. And so, one of the things I'm gonna focus in on my show with my son is we're gonna talk more about this 30-year drought and what we need to do. And I'm not liking the way this is going, but that's gonna be my focus as we move forward.
Wow. Jay Tuck, don't shut it down, Doc.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Keep doing up the incredible work, man, because it takes a village, as they say. Salute to everyone watching Cowboys Nation. We're in this together. But what I also want to say is that people have to understand leadership comes in different shapes and sizes. And I did a video, was it last year, maybe 2 years ago? I forget, right? But it was about the Ninja Turtles, which we all can relate to, right? And growing up, I remember everyone painted as Leonardo was the leader because Leonardo did the right thing. He listened to Master Splinter. He all did the proper training. That was what people wanted to coin as typical leadership. But my favorite turtle growing up was Raphael, and still to this day, right? And even though people don't want to coin Raphael as a leader, he was a leader. When things got dark, right? You remember the movie when Master Splinter got kidnapped and they had to go fight all those foot soldiers? They needed Raphael to kick in that door, you know what I'm saying, and
Wow.
put boots to ground and
Facts.
make it happen. So leadership
Right.
in different ways. And so what we're seeing is Micah Parsons' leadership is not the conventional Dallas Cowboys, just shut up and play, say the right thing, take the corporate route. He's doing it his own way. It's a foxhole mentality, which I relate to as well. And that's why you're seeing the players rally behind him because they know when things hit the fan, I can at least count on number 11 to have my back, right? The media has now had the smear campaign with Trayvon Diggs. no Cowboys player really spoke out about Trayvon Diggs.
No.
Micah spoke out, right? Jerry and Steven sat there and slandered Terrence Steele for no reason. Micah spoke out. So that goes away. And we all had those people on our teams. Michael Urban was one of those ones, right? You have those types of mentalities. You know, everybody's behind Cowboy Joe. Dez was one of those that, hey, when we're going to Philly and Malcolm Jenkins is, you know, walking through our warm-ups, I need a dog to be like, it ain't going down like that, right?
Three touchdowns.
I relate to, and that's the type of person I am personally as well. It is not just with content. I've been that when I play sports. In basketball, we used to have teams try to run through our warm-ups. I would say, hey, bro, they ain't running through our warm-ups. If they run through our warm-ups, I'm going to throw the ball at somebody's head.
Yeah.
And I would throw the ball at someone's head. Even at work in corporate world, I seen managers that were bullying people. Hey, bro, we're not going to bully her. She's putting in the work. And people are like, well, why would you say that to your manager? Because you can't do nothing to me. I am God-given. I know if you fire me, I will find another job tomorrow because I believe in me and I know what God has given me. And it's the same thing in the content space. If people are hating on big time and content creators, I can speak out because I know there's nothing that they can take away from me because they did not give this to me, right? Yeah. So leadership comes in different ways. So I know a lot of people want to say, well, Mike ain't no leader or Trayvon ain't no leader and this and that. It's not a pretty package. Sometimes true leaders got to get dirty. They got to get grimy to get things done. Michael Jordan, ultimate leader, right? Kobe Bryant, ultimate leader. They wasn't cute and always cuddly in a package. So, you know, rally together, Cowboys Nation, support these players when they're right. Sometimes they do dumb stuff, bro. We'll be the first to tell you, hey, bro, you messing up. Like, you know, but when they are right, they are right. And it's okay to stand and voice your concerns, your opinions, because we spend big money, a lot of time, energy representing this team. We have the right to say, this ain't good enough. If we go to a restaurant tonight and the food is bad, we can tell the waiter, hey, food wasn't good. This was not the standard. Why stop when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys? So keep lifting your voice, Cowboys Nation. Your voice matters. And that's my final word. Appreciate you guys for having me on.
Man, look, there's nothing more to add other than to say this man done took a Ninja Turtle story and then made it relevant. Just crazy.
I bet that video. It might have been 2 years ago, but yeah, because about leadership, it looks different ways, you know.
That's right. But ladies and gentlemen, listen, that's gonna be the show for today. Me and Amp are gonna do something. Be on the lookout for that coming up. Be on the lookout for Cowboy Joe and his son, the father and son podcast, and Jay Tuck. I believe Jay Tuck. What time are you coming on today? Are you saying you are coming?
I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? It might just be random. You know, sometimes.
Okay, random. Yeah. When the vibe hit.
After he eats that steak.
Yeah.
After because what happened when the news, my phone started breaking out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Micah stuff. I was watching Stranger Things with my wife, so my TV show got interrupted. So I need to catch up.
I think
this evening.
I think most people probably today are probably gonna wait until maybe after practice today. Right. See if there's a press conference, and then take it from there. That'll probably be the best thing. Me and him probably gonna do something like that, and at least have something ready for the weekend is over with. At least catch the vibe. But ladies and gentlemen, listen, we appreciate all of you guys. Hey, subscribe to everybody. We out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Appreciate y'all popping in on the Big Time Show, the BTA podcast. We'll holler at y'all coming up real soon. Turn those notifications on. We're going to holler at you in the honor of all this together. All of us part of the DC universe. And so, of course, here's the theme music that I believe Boss gave us all. We out of here, man. I'm out. Holler at y'all. See you.